I'm excited to bring you today's video where we'll be diving into some creative and super easy gift card holder ideas. And the best part, you won't need any fancy supplies for these projects. This is a design team project for the Digital Collage Club, which recently launched a brand new website. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. So let me introduce you to the Digital Collage Club's new membership website. So there's two types of memberships and you get thousands of royalty-free images to use. So this is the home screen. And then you have to go all the way to the bottom. It's a long way down. And then you get here to where you can choose your plan. So either you get the annual access or the lifetime access. Both have unlimited downloads. Of course, the lifetime one has lifetime unlimited downloads. The yearly one has it for 1 year. You get new graphics every week. There's ebooks, tutorials, and more. There's premium support, risk-free 30-day guarantee. And for the lifetime one, it's a one-time fee, and for the yearly one, it's an annual fee. And then you can just click on these. For example, you want the amazing lifetime access. You just click here. And then here where it says have a coupon, because you do have a coupon, which is down in the description box, just click on that and then you just paste the coupon code in there and then you will see the reduction and then you can fill in all your information here. If you have any questions, you can see down here on the bottom, it says got questions. You can click there. You can either look at the frequently asked questions here. You can search for specific issues. And if none of that helps, you could go here to contact, and you see here a contact field where you can send a message. And once you are a member, this is what the page currently looks like. Some of these things that you see in my video now might still change slightly. Tina, the founder of the Digital Collage Club, is still tweaking things. So things will improve, run more smoothly, etc. during the next few weeks and months. There's a lot of updates they will be adding, but I already love that we can now see all of these downloads together on a page like this. And you see the categories here on the right. Those will be expanded to include a lot more categories by the time this video goes live. So today I will be working with this kit here, Winter's Wonder Folio kit. That's this one. And also this Christmas Birds kit. But you can see there is so much here to choose from. It's incredible. And as it said, there's new digitals being added every single week. There's a whole section for Christmas. So go check it out. So the first gift card holder I'm going to make is a tag-shaped holder. I'm using this page here from the Winter's Wonder Folio, kit number 5. And we'll be using this image later, but for now we're just going to use this tag right here. Actually, I'm just going to cut out this cute snowman for the first one, and I just wanted to show you the difference in the print quality. This here is printed on matte photo paper. I'm currently using this brand. I don't always use the same brand. I like to try different brands, but this is the one I'm currently using. It's a German brand called Schwarzwaldmühle. It's matte. It has 130 GSM and it's photo paper for inkjet. It's also UV resistant and it does not smudge. So I've been pretty happy with this brand. And in comparison, you can also just print this on regular copy paper. And I just wanted to show you the difference. This is regular, not the cheapest, but a good quality copy paper. And for example, when we look at the snowman here in detail, first of all, this is the regular 80 gram and this is 130 grams. So there is already a bit of a difference here. But for this project, you can just use copy paper. So you see here, the regular copy paper is this one. It has warmer colors, but this one here has more saturated colors and more detail. Both are fine, it's just a different look. So you can decide what works best for you. I'm going to use this matte photo paper and I'm just going to cut this out. Since I want straight edges, I'll just take my little paper trimmer, but obviously you can just do this with scissors and a ruler or a rotary cutter or whatever you're used to cutting with. And as I mentioned, I just want that cute image of the snowman. If you're new to paper crafting and you think you're going to do a lot more paper crafting, I can highly recommend this cute little paper trimmer. It's by Tonic Studios. I'm not affiliated in any way. I have had this, I don't know for how long now, but I don't know what I did before I had it. It's the smallest one I believe they have, and I think the newer version looks a little bit different than this one. But this is so cool to have on your craft desk, ready to go. It's so quick and easy. I'm a huge fan. So this is now a bit too small. How do I know that? Because I have my gift card here, and if you don't have your gift cards yet, just take a credit card so that you have the dimensions, because they have the same dimensions. So this will go onto a tag shape, and this is going to be stuck into a pocket which is decorated with this. So we're probably going to have to back him onto something, but maybe let's make the tag base first. I'm going to use this neutral cardstock. This is what the other side looks like. If you have a nice Christmassy one and you want to use that, please do that. So we want a width that is going to be big enough to fit in the card. So no measurements for you. We're going to figure this out very logically. So I'm going to add some double-sided tape here, or you can also obviously add glue. So we have to make sure that we have a width that is going to accommodate our card. So I would say, to be safe, let's do about this width. So I'll cut this strip first. So this is going to be the bottom where the card is going to go into, and I want that sticking out a little bit. And then I'm just going to wrap this around. I'm just going to position the card so that it sticks out as much as I want it to stick out. And then that will indicate where I can fold this. So I'll fold it about like that. I'll take a bone folder to make sure I have a nice sharp crease or a crisp crease. Okay, so we have this shape now. Alternatively, if you don't have any cardstock on hand, which is this long, although that's not even that long, you could just cut two pieces obviously and glue one on top of the other. So my card is going to go in here, and I want this image to be on the front here. Actually, I don't even need anything under it. I think it's cute as it is. So I'll just quickly ink that up with walnut stain. You could sew around this before you glue it on. I'm just making a super simple version. And I want this to look like a tag shape. So I just want to cut off these two corners. I have made myself this template recently. I don't know why I waited years to do this. It is so practical to just have this. I have large corners and small corners. For this, I'm going to use my large corners, and I can just align that and cut them off. This is so handy to have. And if you have a pattern on the back here that you don't want for your card, I mean, this would be fine actually, but I want to show you a more vintage version. So we could just use a piece of music sheet or book page or any other pattern paper, obviously. And I'm just going to cut off a piece. Just need the approximate width. And it also doesn't have to be the full height. This is just the backing of a sticker sheet. And now I'm just going to put some glue on this. I'm just using glue stick. I don't use glue stick often, but this seemed like the best and easiest and quickest option. And I believe it's something that all of us have. So then we just glue that on top here. And we cut off the excess. Actually, I'm going to dry this first with my heat tool because I don't want my scissors to get sticky. So once that's dry, I can just snip these off. So we have this now, and then I also want to make a little notch here to make it easier to pull the card out. If you have a punch, use that, or maybe you have a die, or maybe you don't have anything. If you don't have anything, you just take something round like a glue cap and you just trace it around and cut it out. I'm going to use a 1.5 inch circle punch, and I'm just going to cut out a notch, try to center that. And then I can ink everything up. Once I have that, I can take some double-sided tape, or obviously I could use liquid glue as well. With the double-sided tape, I don't have to deal with anything squishing out on the sides. So I'm just going to put a strip on either side. Make sure that your tape isn't too wide. You still need to be able to fit your card inside. And if you have the feeling that, oops, you made your pocket too long and your card is going to disappear inside, it's a very easy fix, but you have to you have to realize that before you close it. We just put another piece of tape here so that the card cannot slide down further than that. And then we close this up and we can fit in our card perfectly. So then I'm just going to adhere this as well. So I just realized this is why I don't like working with glue sticks so much, is I just got some glue. You see this shiny part, and there's another tiny shiny part here. I really dislike that. So I want to try something that I recently bought in the Netherlands, and it's a glue eraser. I've heard about this on other YouTube videos. There are different brands that make these. This one happens to be Nelly's Glue Eraser by Nelly Snellen. I do not know this brand. I found this at a craft store in the Netherlands. I'm sure if you search for this online or in your art store, you might be able to find something like this. And this should be able to get rid of the shine here, hopefully without damaging our paper. So I'm going to try this and not apply a lot of pressure and just gently rub over this. And it is truly magic. There is no shine left whatsoever. It's like there never was any glue. So this is something I have now discovered years into my crafting life. So if you ever get your hands on one of these, I can highly, highly recommend it. We can add a hole on the top. We can either put an eyelet through or just a hole reinforcement. We could also just leave it as is. I found this neutral one that I'd like to add, but these have holes that are a little bit bigger than my crocodile makes. So I have this other very simple hole punch that I know is just a little bit bigger. I will ink around this, and then I'll add this with liquid glue. Then I'm going to add some packaging twine on the top. You could use a fancy red ribbon or anything you have. I want to use very simple materials. And I like the rustic look. I think it's very cute as it is. You wouldn't need to do anything else if you just wanted a very quick and cute card holder. You could add some other embellishments. For example, I have this one here. This was from the packaging from my Taperlogy haul. You could just add something like that there. You could also make another pocket on the back here and add another tag inside with a personal note. Or you just do this and you could tie this onto another present maybe. Or you could hang it on the tree. There's so many options. So that's gift card holder number 1. For gift hold number 2, I'm going to use this image from the same page where we just cut out the snowman from. And we're going to use this trifold. So first I'm going to cut this out roughly again. Then I'm going to take a piece of music sheet, again use book page or any pattern paper you like, and we're going to glue this on. Actually, I need to glue it on this side because I want the music showing on the inside. Again, I'll just use my glue stick. I have glue all over here because of course there was some dry glue on this sheet. Use a clean sheet, please. Thankfully it rubs off, but something to be mindful of. There's a little bit left here. So then I'm just going to cut out this trifolder shape. So this is our inside, that's our outside, and now we're going to fold where we see these lines. Make sure that you have completely covered your music sheet or whatever you're using with glue, because otherwise you will get what I have here now. I have a little bit of a wrinkle here because the paper is not attached firmly. You want to prevent that. Then I'll fold in my other flap. And I see here when I fold this on this crease here, it's actually a bit wide. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't necessarily have to have these two ends line up. But if you want that, then you'll just have to move in a little bit more. I'm going to cut this off anyway, so it doesn't matter that this overlaps now the crease a little bit. Okay, so now this is too wide, doesn't matter, I'm going to cut it off. So I just want this to be a pocket into which I can tuck my gift card into. So again, I'm not going to give you a measurement. You decide how wide you want this to be. I'm going to do it approximately here. We won't need this. So this will be folded up. Again, I want a notch in here so that we can take out the card easily. This time I'm going to use this oval 1 3/4 punch. Again, use your glue stick if you don't have any punches or dies. I'm going to center this. I'm again going to ink up all of my edges. This looks very uneven, so I'm just going to make that a little more even. Yeah, that's better. So again, I'm going to add my double-sided tape on these two spots. I'm not the biggest fan of double-sided tape, but it does have its advantages. It's of course a lot less messy. It's very quick. I don't trust it to hold for years and years, so that's why I don't really like using it in junk journals, but for a gift card holder, I think it's totally fine. So we can stick our gift card in there. So again, we can embellish this further. For example, we could add a little tag here for a personal message. And for that, I have printed these Christmas bird tags. We can just choose one of these. They're all cute. It doesn't really matter. I'll just take this one right here and cut that out. And I printed these on 200 GSM just because I'm lazy, and this way I don't have to back it with anything, although it has a white backside, so I might back it with the music paper, which I should do now before I cut it out, because otherwise I have to cut it out twice. You could use a corner rounder for those rounded corners. Obviously, if you would like to add a personal message, you would not add music chic on the back. You would maybe add a coffee dyed paper or just leave it plain and write your message on it. So again, I'm going to punch out my hole using my bigger hole punch. I'll add another reinforcement. This time I'm going to use these regular sticker ones you can buy. But if you want to add color to them, for example, with Distress Oxide, you have to make sure that you find matte ones. Otherwise, the Distress Oxide or ink will not stay on your reinforcement. We can add one to the back as well. Again, I'll just use my packaging tape. And then we can just make a little pocket to stick the tag in. So I'll just leave a little bit space here until the crease and from the side here. And I don't want it too tall, so I'll cut it here. I'll use an even smaller circle punch for this one. If you have an envelope punch board, that also makes really cool notches. So that will go here. Yeah, it is wide enough to use the double-sided tape. Always check that before you adhere that. Again, you could add stitching around it first. And since the tag is not so tall, I'm going to add it not all the way on the bottom. Okay, we can stick our tag in here. That is so cute. And I can also add one of these. These are from the same Christmas bird kit. These are the circles, and I printed this at 75%. So these are fairly large if you leave the original size. And I think one of these small round ones are going to fit there nicely. I think my punch is too small. Yeah, that's too small. So I'll hand cut one of these. I'll just use this one right here, the first one. What I really love about projects like these is you can make them so simple and quick if you're in a time crunch, or you can just keep embellishing and embellishing to your heart's desire. So let's ink that up. That needs a little something underneath. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to add some black sewing thread underneath, just for some very quick and easy interest and texture. We could add a sentiment down here. Obviously, if you're going to use these for Christmas, maybe you want to put Merry Christmas or something here. I cannot find my Christmas stamps. I think they're in a box somewhere stored away. So instead, I'm going to use this one that says Sending Hugs. It's from Lawn Fawn. Hugs are always good, always in season. I'll use some black archival ink. And instead of stamping on here, I'll stamp on this scrap left over from my music sheet. That way I'm not heartbroken if the stamping goes wrong. So after inking it up, I can glue that down and stick our gift card back in. And we see now that this is opening. This is such a cute image as well. So let's just use some more packaging twine and wrap that around. Could also use a magnet to hold it closed or some Velcro. So there's gift hold number 2 ready. And number 3 is going to be a fun pop-up card folder. So I'm taking this image from Winter's Wonder Folio kit number 10. Or should I take this one? They're both so cute. Okay, actually, I'll take this one. It really doesn't matter. Again, I want to show you the difference in the print quality. So this is the matte photo paper on the left. And on the right here, I have my copy paper. So here you see the difference in the saturation of the colors and the detail. And here as well. But it's not huge. So as I said, if you just have copy paper, please just use that. So I'm going to roughly cut this one out again. Then I'm going to use this paper again for the inside of my folder. So I need to glue on this side. So I'm making sure that the whole surface is covered in glue. Don't want to get any ripples in the paper. Obviously, if your pattern has a specific direction, then please pay attention to that. So then I'll go ahead and cut out this little folder. Don't worry about these little indents here in the middle. We'll do that once it's folded. That will make them more even. So just cut straight across that. So then we're going to fold the folder where we see the line here. This is now really nice and sturdy with the cardstock. And then we have to make the piece here that's going to hold our card up. So I'm going to take the same cardstock, and we want this to be the same width as our folder. And then again, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you measurements. So we're just going to figure this out together. So we have our card. This is going to be here in the middle in a little pocket. We don't need it to be so high. So let's say we want it to be approximately this high so that we see almost half of the card peeking out. And then we need 2 flaps to connect it to our 2 folder sides. And those flaps don't need to be big at all. So I'll say approximately 1 centimeter for 1 flap. So I'll say here. So in total, just so you have some idea, if I have my card, it's a little bit wider than my card. And I'm going to cut it here. I'll erase my pencil lines. Won't need those anymore. Then I'm going to fold this in half. This is the outside, so I'm going to fold it in. Then we need 2 flaps to glue onto the folder. So we need to bend from these 2 outsides into our crease. Turn this around. We just need a little bit. So what is this, like 1/4 of an inch maybe, 1/2 centimeter, something like that. You could of course make it longer, but then you have to make the whole piece wider. And we'll try to do approximately the same from the other side. We are not card makers, at least I'm not a card maker that needs precise measurements. To help understand, this is going to be glued in like that. And then of course we need an opening to stick our card into. I'll use my oval punch again to punch a notch. That went flying. So we have this now. Obviously our card is not going to fit in there. So either we take a paper trimmer or our scissors, and we need to cut off just these 2 so that they are no longer connected. So I'm just cutting off the tiniest sliver. So now I have these 2 separate pieces. Once again, I'm going to ink up all of my pieces. So we're going to add tape, obviously, to our insides. So I'll add one strip to the little flap that we folded on both pieces. And then I'll add a strip on either short side, and I just need to do that on one of these. You could put it on both, but one should be fine. So first I'm just taking these two from the short sides off, and I'm going to adhere these together, making sure that I have the right side outside. So I'll make these line up where my half circle is, and then I'll push down on both sides. So now they're connected. And now I'm going to take off the tape from these flaps. And I can glue that into the middle of my folder. I want to make sure that the middle meets up with the crease of the folder, and then I can burnish that down. Then I'll crease this one more time. This is a lot thicker now. And now I can round these corners here that we didn't cut off at the beginning. And re-ink those. Okay, so we have this thing here now into which we can stick our card. Like that. So that just pops open once we open the card. I think that's such a cute way of attaching a gift card. I'm going to add these two tags. I'm going to use these parts of my music sheet for the back of my tags. So I'll glue these on the other side so that I have a nice vintage empty space to write on. An alternative, if you don't have music sheets or any white space on your music sheets, are like the first and last pages of vintage books. They're usually white and have this beautiful patina. I always keep those when I take books apart. So I'll just cut these out. So I have these backed now. I've inked around all of the edges. I'm going to add my holes, my inked up reinforcements, both sides, and my packaging twine. And then I want to make two quick tuck spots to add these tags into. So I have this here, which is one of the cards from the Winter Wonder kit. And we're going to make two tuck spots out of this. I'll cut this in half, approximately. And then I'll just cut a diagonal like this, and on the other one we need it obviously in the other direction, and I see they are not the same width, obviously, because I didn't measure. I can make this a little less wide to make them a little more equal. So now I can just flip this around and make the same cut on this one. So now we have these two which face each other, and I just need to ink those up again and add my tape strips on the bottom and on the long side. So one goes on this side. You could round the corner if it bothers you that we have an actual corner here and the rounded corner on the outside. And the second one goes here. You could also back them with cardstock if you want them a little more sturdy. And then we add our little birdies in here. Again, you could stamp a sentiment to go up there. It's so cute. You could add sparkly things, sprays, anything you want, but I wanted to keep this super simple. And again, we can add some twine to keep it shut, because as you can see, it is gaping apart. But I think this is such a cute idea with this gift card. Whoops, just sticking out like that. This is my favorite one. Let's close it up. This one we need to do on the bottom because we have these tabs here on the top. No problem. So there's number 3. So these are my 3 vintage gift card holder ideas. These are so fun and quick to make. They're really addictive actually. So don't forget to check out Digital Collage Club's new website for even more inspiring creations. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.